like I was just saying in the last video, running legal. Normally I don't have a problem. HMD is usually really good about keeping me legal, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But shit happens. This is my load going home. It's a Walmart load, and it was a 2-stop pickup, and they ended up overloading me. And this is pretty much
right onto I-55 toward I-55 South.
the closest I can get it to be legal. Now, we're allowed 1%, but that's if you're lucky. If you're not lucky, you get a DOT officer that wants to chat with you, then, you know, you got a problem. So 1% would be what, 340 pounds over axle. Now, if I would have slid it one more axle, I probably would have been right at the 1%. But I figure I've got 3/4 of a tank of fuel. I burn off a 1/4 tank of fuel. I get it down to less than 1% on the drives. Then I'm good to go. Where is the next weigh station? Weigh station. Unfortunately, the next weigh station is 150 miles, 140 miles to be more exact. Let's see here. 5 miles per gallon. Now, of course, I've got an automatic. I can run in 11th gear. That'll put me in higher RPMs. Lock it into manual at higher RPMs. That'll cause me to burn off more fuel. So we'll just calculate this real quick. 140 times 5. Now, wait a minute, that's not right. Let me think about this for a second. I'm usually pretty good with math, I just can't do it in my head, right? But if I think about it for a second, I'll be able to come up with the formula. So,
Speed warning.
oh, no, okay, I did that backwards. So 140 divided by 5, that's 28 gallons, times 8 pounds, that's 250 gallons. So I might, or 225 gallons, so I might be all right. I might be able to burn off a 1/4 tank of fuel by the time I get there. Now, I got bigger tanks than normal. Normally, we have 200-gallon tanks. I think I have 100 and 20-gallon tanks each. So that'd be 240 gallons. So I might not burn off a full quarter tank of fuel. However, I still might be able to burn off enough fuel to be under the 1%. So I'll navigate to the Love's truck stop before, hang on, travel centers, before that way station to make sure I'm legal, because I know that that's where the next truck stop is, and I'll have to weigh again, and I'll see how legal I am, and we'll go from there. Now I've only got 2 hours left on my logbook, so that's about as far as I can make it tonight anyway. So I'm actually going to shut down before I get there. Now I got optimized. Okay, my truck's yelling at me. My GPS is yelling at me that I'm speeding. Alright, now I'm not speeding anymore. Okay, so I've got an optimized idle truck so I won't burn off that much fuel. Now there are tricks to trigger my truck to idle more. So in this case, I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave my running lights on. If possible, I'll leave my headlights on. I know that's annoying to some drivers when other drivers leave their headlights on all night long, but in this case, I might have to just do it. So I'll try to park in a way that I'm not annoying other drivers by leaving my headlights on all night. And that'll force my battery to run down, or that'll drain my battery and force my truck to idle more often. And that will help me burn off some fuel too. So let's navigate to a rest area prior to the Love's, because I already know that Love's is going to be full. Parking. That Love's truck stop's always full. Alright, there is Speedway before that. I don't even know if they'll have parking. Thornton, which is, oh, that Pilot, it's in 100 miles. They might have parking. What time is it? Time is 5:30, 6:30. They might have parking. And then there's a truck stop across the street from that truck stop. So I might just go there for the night. That's 116 miles. So yeah, I'll go there tonight. I'll try to park in a way where I'm not going to be bugging anybody if I leave my headlights on all night long. And I might leave my dome light on too in the cab, and then that way I just run the batteries down and then trigger my optimized idle to idle a little more tonight than normal, and then that way I'll burn off some more fuel and I'll be legal. Hopefully, maybe I'll be legal. So like I told my dispatcher, I don't like to run like this. Don't really want to dodge any scales. And then I'll have to run on a half a tank the rest of the trip. Luckily, it's not a very long trip. You know, when you're over the road and you have to do this, it's a lot more of a pain. But I'm only going 600 miles, you know, give or take. So, what I'll probably do is, since there's no more scales, between Joplin and Bentonville is I'll probably stop and fuel at the Flying J there in Joplin on my way to Bentonville, so that I'll be good to go. That being said, I don't plan on topping off my tanks anyways, because Monday's the 1st, and that's when the Pilot Flying J app resets itself, and I have to try to get my 4 points again. And I figured out approximately 75 gallons. You have to get, for it to count, you have to get 75 gallons minimum at a time. It may be a little less than that, but to be safe, I figure 75 gallons. So, you know, I'll probably keep my tanks a little on the low side anyway, so that I can maximize my pointage per day when I go back out on the road on the 3rd. So, so that first week I'll get my points as quickly as possible, 75 gallons per day. Now, yeah. But at the same time, I want to get my maximum points that I can for this month. So I'll fill up as much as I can and try to guesstimate how much I want to get in fuel that won't hinder me for doing my trickery next month to get my points as quickly as possible next month. So it's a fine balance. But anyways, like I said, I don't really like to run like that, but we only run like 500-600 mile runs anyways, and so it's not as bad for us. Now, like I said, if I was going coast to coast, I would have been like I told him here, I says, normally I don't like to run like this, but I'll make you the exception. Normally I'd go back and have them take a pallet off. If I was going coast to coast, if I was OTR, I would have went back and said, nah, we're overweight, you need to take a pallet off. Or, you know, whatever constitutes 500 pounds. Because we're 250 pounds, 260 pounds over, but I'm already at 3/4 of a tank, so technically we're 500 pounds over. So that's pretty much a pallet. Depends on the pallet. I need to stop at this place and see if they got truck parking. I keep meaning to do it and I never do it. I just went by the exit and forgot to do it again. But anyways, there's a new truck stop at Coal City, Illinois. I used to work at Coal City Cobb in Coal City, Illinois. And there didn't used to be a truck stop there. It was a gas station. Well, I guess they did some remodeling and upgrading, and now they're a truck stop. But, I don't know if they have truck parking, so I gotta go in there and find out. But anyways, this isn't totally unacceptable, but for the most part, it's pretty unacceptable. Don't run like this. Don't accept loads like this, if at all possible. Because otherwise, you're going to have to dodge scales or run on a 1/4 tank of fuel. And like I said, I hate running on a 1/4 tank of fuel. You know? But, yeah. So, and again, you're allowed 1%, but I still don't even like to do that, because what if you get a jerk for a DOT officer, and then you're screwed. That's a $1,000 ticket right there, easy. So, And of course, I haven't had one of those tickets in a long time. A long time. So it might be even more now than it was before. But yeah, if I got pulled over right now, you know, like those portable weigh stations, those portable scales, I'd be in trouble. I'd get a ticket right now. $1,000 easy. And yeah, so don't do that. Like I said, I'm making an exception, but when I get to the scales, I'll be at a half tank of fuel and I'll be legal. But I don't like doing it. Don't. And if this happened all the time, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be turning around and going back, be like, nope, you have to pay me detention now, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, I'd make them take it off. So, running legal is very important. It could cost you money. It could cost you points on your license. Because now, truck drivers have to worry about the CSA, or CSA 2010. You know, if I get DOT'd, yeah, it's not going to go on my driver's license per se. I'm not going to have points on my driver's license. But, I'm still going to have points on my record, you know, my CSA score. And that technically is on my driver's license. So I won't lose my license over it, but I won't be able to get a good job. So you got to make sure you run legal. For that reason alone. Like I said, one of the qualities to being a quality driver is having a good CSA score. And if I got caught right now, that would be going against my CSA score. So, like I said, I gotta burn off, you know, a quarter tank of fuel, and I have to run on a half tank of fuel or less in order to be legal. And I don't like to do that. But again, this company doesn't do that to me very often. In fact, this is the first time this has happened since I've been here. So I'm gonna make an exception this time. But, you know, I let my dispatcher know, hey, I'm making an exception this time. But normally, you know, like I said in the last video, you know, let them know. I'll make an exception this time, but normally, this is the rule, so you know. And so that's what I did. You know, draw a line in the sand, let them know where you stand. You gotta stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. So, and like I said, be flexible, to a degree. It's the weekend, chances are the scale's gonna be closed, I'm not gonna have to worry about it. I get down to a half a tank of fuel, I'm not gonna have to worry about it. I'll idle a little bit more, I'll trick my truck into idling a little bit more. And the company's not gonna get mad at me because, you know, hey, I'm overweight, what can I do? You know, I gotta get rid of some fuel somehow. And that's the only way to do it. You know, run on high RPMs and idle tonight as much as I can. So get it down underweight, and then you're legal, and you're good, and so on and so forth. But anyways, I just want to throw this out there. I know I'm a little long-winded, but that's my Mercury and Virgo, like I was talking about in the last video. I tend to be like very analytical. I tend to give too much information. I tend to give you the whole story instead of cutting to the chase. Although sometimes I can do that because I'm on a Leo Virgo cusp. So sometimes I'll cut to the chase. Sometimes I'll be blunt, brash, and to the point. But generally speaking, I'm long-winded. I give too many details, and I'll give you the long way around the story. Because I'm trying to convey the full story, you know, give you the whole scope of the situation, you know. Sometimes it's not necessary, but that's part of who I am. Anyways, so there you go. I'll be legal by the time I hit the scales. I'll be legal by morning, I'm sure. But I'm going to stop at the Lowe's. I'm going to scale again just to be sure. But I let my company know, hey, I'm overweight, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Alright. I'll piece this together with another video tomorrow. Whenever I scale tomorrow at the Lowe's to show you my results. And then... And then... I'll upload this video tomorrow. Tomorrow. Good God, people. Take your sweet time. Okay. Alright. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Me, I set it on fire. Just poured gasoline on the floor, set it on fire, and went to buy a drink and came back.
How did setting this fire help you?
Just so you could get here, so you could get for your attention. I set it on fire.
You set it on fire?
Way station ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna go around that detour. Next, I don't know, 5 miles? Alright. So, yeah. I'm still over Axel. Here's the strange part. Burning off fuel, it looks like I lost 20 pounds. And, but still over the 1% on my drives. So, I went to the bathroom, came back out, slid my tandem 1 notch, and I lost another 20 pounds, probably going to the bathroom. But anyways, I'm under the 1%, but I'm worried about still crossing the scales. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around. And then I'll probably, next time I stop to go to the bathroom, slide it back 1 hole again, because then I'll be back to closer to legal. So I wasn't able to idle last night. I was gonna leave the I was gonna leave the running lights on, but the truck kept beeping at me and it was annoying, so I didn't do that. And then the weather was nice last night, so I didn't have to run the alternative heating or cooling system. Otherwise, I'd have burnt myself up or froze myself out. So, I couldn't get the truck batteries to run down. I couldn't trick the truck into idling to burn off more fuel. So I'm still 1/8 of a tank more fuel than I wanted. So 660 and 460, I burned off 200 pounds. I need to burn off another 400 pounds. So as soon as this drop deck gets out of my way, I'm gonna flip a U-ey and I'm gonna go out of here. The back way. Like I said, I'm still under the 1%, so it's not that big of a deal. I think the scales are closed, but I'm not gonna take that chance. And nobody is answering me on the radio to let me know if the scales are open or closed, and I can't see it from here. So as soon as traffic clears and this truck stop, I'm gonna take off. And away we go. Like I said, I don't like doing this. Normally I wouldn't have, but I thought I could burn off enough fuel before I got here. Now, this is exactly why I should have turned around and had them take at least 1 or 2 pallets off. Because now I gotta go around the scales. And that alone, technically, is breaking the law, and I could maybe get a ticket for that. Even though I'm technically under the 1%, I'm technically still bypassing the scales. So it's all in technicalities. Again, I don't normally do this. I don't recommend this. But sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Knowing my luck, I'll run into a portable scale and they'll get me for bypassing. But who knows? We'll see what happens. I gotta go 2 miles down this road to Highway 124. Down and around, and then turn around and come back. Or not turn around, but you know. Left, and then a right. That'll be alright. So, like I said, this is why you run legal. So you don't have to do this crazy crap. Crazy crap. Holy cow. All these telephone poles along this route are leaning. I don't know if they made them lean on purpose because they're putting in new poles or what. It looks like they made them lean on purpose because they're putting in new poles. Interesting. They got the new poles laying on the ground along the road, somewhere in the farmers' fields. And the farmers had to plant their corn around the new telephone poles, so...
In half a mile, turn at the first left onto Illinois 124.
Their yield won't be as
Limit reduced ahead.
high this year because they had to go around the telephone poles that are laying in their field. Hopefully the electric company is compensating them for that loss. Oh shit, here's my turn. Crap, I wasn't paying attention. Pay attention! And that goes back to the safety thing I was talking about yesterday too, is paying attention to your surroundings and stuff. Don't get distracted. Distracted driving is also dangerous. Hey, wow. That was a cool looking wild cherry tree. It looked like it was a weeping wild cherry tree. But it was huge. That was cool. I like the wild cherry trees. They got a nice wild flavor. It's kind of sweet, kind of sour, and kind of bitter all at the same time. It's not the same as the choke cherry, although people call it a choke cherry. It looks like a regular cherry, but it's tiny. And there's not a lot of fruit there. It's mostly seed, but it tastes pretty good. I like it. And it's a nice little treat. It won't really fill you up or anything, but it's packed full of nutrients and it's a nice little treat. So yeah, going down this way 4 miles. And like I said, the scales are probably closed. Probably didn't need to do this. But again, CYOA.
Winding road ahead.
So in a way, I'm teaching you a bad habit, but I'm also trying to convey why you don't want to do this. It's a pain in the butt. Now, it's only an extra, well, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7,
3 miles.
about 7 or 8
Turn left
miles
onto East Andrew Road.
out of route. But if I get caught, that's even more money. If I got caught on the scales overweight, that'd be even more money out of my pocket. Plus, I had to stop and re-weigh my weights to see if I was legal or not. That cost me time and money. Well, not really money, but potential money, you know? So, yeah. Then again, being overweight, if I would have went back to the customer and had them take the weight off, that would have cost me time and money. However, I could have billed them for that, for detention, because they overloaded me. You know, because that's not my fault. That's their fault. And the other thing I should have did was, it's what they call an LTL, I think, where you have two pickups and one drop. So, what I coulda, woulda, shoulda did was I should have took the bill of lading in from the first pickup to the second pickup and showed them my weights so that they can make sure that they didn't overload me. And that's where I screwed up, you know. They probably still coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, shoulda, not shoulda. They still probably coulda, woulda overloaded me, but that could have prevented me from being overloaded. So, anyhow, this is the only weigh station until I get to Missouri. I'll be under half a tank by then. So I'm gonna stop at the next rest area, slide my tandems again. I'm in the 7th hole right now, but I'll slide it back to the 8th hole, and then I'll burn off fuel, and then I'll be legal. So as long as I keep it under a half a tank, I'll be okay. Probably closer to 3/8 of a tank. And so that's almost a quarter tank of fuel in order to be legal. But, you know, if I keep it if I keep it under 3/8 of a tank, then I'll be legal. And again, I don't like doing that, and it's a pain in the butt. This whole thing's a pain in the butt. But fortunately, I got plenty of time to get there.
Turn at the first left onto East Andrew Road.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still get there. Let's see what time. Yeah, okay. I'll still get there. Around 4 p.m. today, which I can't deliver till tomorrow anyway. So I'm gonna. Oh, okay, freaked me out.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
Crap, there's a cop right there. So I'm probably getting in trouble for bypassing the scales.
half a mile, turn left onto South Sherman Boulevard. Speed limit reduced ahead.
No, he's just looking for speeders. But, see, I just could have got busted for bypassing the scales. So I took a big risk doing this.
Turn left onto South Sherman Boulevard.
We'll see if I make it to the rest area okay without getting in trouble.
In half a mile, turn left onto I-55 toward I-55 South. Speed limit reduced ahead. Right curve ahead.
So far, so good.
Turn at the first left onto I-55 toward I-55 South.
I don't know if I can see the way station from here or not to see if they were closed. No, can't see it. So, I don't know if I did the right thing or not, but again, that was a big risk. And you don't want to do that.
Speed warning.
Ever, if possible. Crap, here comes a cop, I think. Looks like highway robbery. Now they're going around me. Whew. Yeah, it's scary. I'm almost to Springfield. I'm debating on whether or not to go home or not. I'm gonna pull into this rest area. Since I can't deliver till tomorrow. Oh. I can still be home around 3 today. Then take off first thing in the morning. Make my delivery and then come back. I don't know. This guy just pulled out in front of me. But anyways, so I successfully did that maneuver again. Like I said, I wouldn't suggest it, and I won't be doing it again. But yeah, So that's why we run legal. Crazy crap. That should be okay now. If there's parking in this rest area, I might have to go to the next one. Don't matter, I'm still under the 1%. Yeah, there's no parking in this rest area. Crazy. Alrighty. So I guess I'll go to the next whatever and slap my tandems wherever. I know where it's supposed to be, so that's all that matters. So, alright. Party on, bye.